Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought it would be kind of fun to do a video talking about what products I use and how I use them for my everyday contouring routine. So if you are interested in how I sculpt out my face, go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so I have already applied my foundation. I used Revlon's Color Stay Whipped in the color 150, which is also called Buff. And I chose a foundation shade that is exact to my skin color. So basically, looking at it now, you kind of can maybe see a little bit of an outline of my cheekbones, but that's pretty much it. I don't have a whole lot of dimension on my face because when you're using especially a high coverage foundation, you're kind of flattening out anything that's going to show shadows or highlights. So that's where contouring comes in. So you can do this in a number of ways. You can use a concealer palette like this, which is really dirty. Please excuse it. This is the Coastal Scents Eclipse palette, and it's got a highlight, a green which cancels out red, a violet or like a lavender color that helps brighten the face, yellow for under the eyes, and then these are two kind of like salmony colors for under the eyes. These are all sort of skin tones. You can see that there's some orangey tones, there's some pink tones, but of course, like to do contouring, you're gonna wanna be using like the darker shades. So I'm gonna take a color that is darker than my skin tone. So my skin tone's actually like around here. I have a very, very pale skin tone. So I could pretty much use any shade in this and get a contour. So that's kind of convenient for me, I guess. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this color here with the tip of my little sponge. And I'm just gonna apply it. I'm not gonna blend it right now, just so that you can see where I'm putting it. So starting at my ear, kind of where like the little sideburn thing is, you should be able to draw a line. Here, I'll take a brush. Draw a line from there to basically the corner of your mouth. And that is where you want to be sculpting out your cheekbone. But the trick is you don't want to be putting a line that's going to be like all the way to your mouth, because that's obvious. So try to stop it right where if you look straight on, the center of your eye. Okay? So just going to apply this. Okay. So I'm stopping it right there. So you can kind of see when I put my head down, you can see that line that I've created. Now I'm going to thin out my forehead. So if you think about when you shine the light on your face, where do you want those shadows to fall to kind of be sculpting out your face? So for me, that is my cheekbones, right underneath my lip, and the sides of my forehead. So I'm just gonna apply a bit to the sides of my forehead and then a little under the lip. Now I'm going to just blend out a little bit. Okay, so now that I've done the darker sections, now it's time to do the lighter section. So I'm going to take a lighter concealer. So I'm going to go in with this. This is a little bit light. And I'm doing the triangle method. So that means that you draw a triangle from the inner corner down to the side of your nose up to the outer corner of your eye. So I'm just applying that. And I'm not taking a shade that's like crazy amounts lighter than my skin tone. I know people that do that and it works for them, but for me it looks like I did exactly that. So I'm just taking a color that is a little bit lighter so I can still get that sort of highlighted look, but not like weird light, like white. Because for me, like I'm already so fair skinned that like I can't really pull that off. So just taking a little bit on the center of my chin, because now I'm doing the opposite. On the lowest areas or the deepest areas of my face, I went with darker colors, and now the highest points of my face, I want to be using lighter colors. So these are the high points now that I'm going to highlight. Okay, so taking the same sponge, I am going to begin really doing my best to blend this all out. Okay, so in terms of my makeup, I am done with cream products, so I can go ahead and set all of this down. So I'm using Rimmel's Stay Matte Powder in Transparent, and I am using just a really big fluffy brush to really set in those products. So I'm using a matte cool toned bronzer because this isn't actually to bronze my face, it's to deepen what I've already put on. So if this is like a daytime look, you could probably skip this step, but I want to look a little bit more dramatic. But basically all I'm gonna do is kind of go right over the area that I've already applied the concealer and just sort of set that especially. So I'm just gonna blend it, kind of moving upward rather than down, because when you take the bronzer and if you move down, now you're giving yourself like a beard. So if you want to be blending it out, blend it up. You can have sort of a little bit of a harsh line. You can go in with that little sponge and blend that out after. So that is all I'm doing, is I'm just kind of making sure that all of it is nice and defined. And the reason you use matte instead of shimmer is because when you have shimmer, that draws the light and light bounces off, which fills out areas. And the idea is to have this area be receded. But for highlight, shimmer's great. For my blush, I'm just gonna use kind of like a generic pink. My favorite highlighter of all time is MAC's Mineralized Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle. An old brush, it doesn't really matter to me. And I am going to take a little bit of that and just put that right on the tops of my cheekbones. And you can do this on all the high points of your face if you'd like. So you can do that. I'm going to do a little bit on the tip of my nose, a little bit on the Cupid's bow, which makes your lips look a little bit plumper. And then you can apply a very, very small amount right on the center of your forehead. Be careful about this part though, because you don't want to look shiny, you just want to look shimmery. But you can really see the difference there. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and then I will come back and kind of show you how it looks when the rest of your makeup is actually on. So I will be right back.